Today on Grow Up, Level Up, Sunset Selects, we are following a trend. We are going to share our 10 games to get to know about me. Except it's us, me and Jordan, we're sharing our 10 games. So welcome to the spooky Halloween-ish episode of Grow Up, Level Up, Sunset Selects. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to your regularly scheduled programming, Grow Up, Level Up, Sunset Selects, featuring such hosts as me, Samson, aka Samson XP on the interwebs, and as always, joined by, and I'll nail it this year, Monkey D. Luffy, aka Jordan, aka Sir Dr. JM. Good evening to you.
I'm gonna be king of the pirates. That's what he says, you know.
That's his catchphrase, yes.
Something like that.
On Grow Up, Level Up, Sunset Selects, Jordan and I like to give you our Sunset Selects, meaning the games, movies, TV shows, books, I don't know, all the things that you should be enjoying in your 5 to 9 after your 9 to 5. We come week to week, we talk about what we like, and we recommend you things. Mostly video games, because that's kind of what we've been filling in our 5 to 9 after our 9 to 5. But before we dive into this week's episode, this week's topic, which is 10 games to get to know about us. Happy Halloween, Jordan.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. As most people do, they dress up. But we did not plan that far ahead, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Last year
That's
we did pretty good with Jerica's hot dog costume, and I was Ken, and you were Monkey D. Luffy again.
Yep,
this year I'm wearing I'll move into frame. I'm wearing a spooky Pennywise shirt, which apparently the new TV show is out, and it's not bad.
I heard that. Yeah.
I'll watch it eventually. I don't know how I'm going to watch that right now.
Have you watched the movies?
Yeah, I enjoyed the movies. They were really fun and creative, and I thought interesting. Are you a scary movie guy? I don't know if we've ever...
I am not a scary movie guy. I don't... I don't know. I just don't dabble, really. I'll watch, like, I don't know, murderer, serial killer stuff.
Thriller, yeah.
Yeah, thriller, psychological horror, that type of stuff is more my vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like the spooky spooks. So
fair enough. Jordan, who are you dressed up as? I think I kind of spoiled it at the beginning.
Oh yeah, you definitely said you were joined by Monkey D. Luffy. So I was dressed up as Monkey D. Luffy. I've already lost the hat because I think last year when I did this, I had smaller headphones on, so I could actually wear the hat or like put it on the back of my neck. But now I got these big chunker headphones, and so it doesn't work. But this is my casual Luffy.
Casual, if you know, yeah. Luffy. Yeah,
I wore this trick or treating last year with my daughter, and I had 2 dads walk up to me and say, "Are you dressed as Monkey D. Luffy?"
Nice.
I was like, "I am," and they were like, "That's awesome." And then they continued on their day. So I won Halloween. That's right.
You won.
Yeah.
Well, today's episode, not too Halloween themed, but we'll find a way to tie it in. We always do. We're going to talk about kind of a trend going around this week. The 10 games to get to know us. Not necessarily the 10 games that are our favorites or the 10 games we played the most or the 10 games that we recommend to others. I think this challenge is the 10 games that would describe you as an individual. And because we have had so many new followers join us in the past year from the communities over at like Drop In, Drop Out, Respawn, Aim, Fire. You know who you are. Welcome. And we hope this episode, Content Mill, we hope this episode will be one to maybe help you get to know us a little bit more as well, like folks in the Pokemon community and Vancouver and all over Canada. So we hope this episode is kind of almost a reintroduction to us, because you know our faces and voices, but you don't know the deep lore. And Jordan and I learned some lore about each other today, but topic for another day.
That's right. I was wondering if you were going to go there, but yeah, topic for another day. Let's talk about that some other time.
Yeah. Before the show, though, Jordan asked me a little bit about what the heck I was drinking. And this is a good segue to learn about the first piece of lore about me. So I poured myself a little beverage in this glass cup. Audio listeners, I'm holding up a glass cup. This glass cup says Aaron on it. Oh, there we go. It's showing up.
Oh, I see it.
Aaron
I saw it.
Spelled like the girl version with E, because I have a friend named Erin, and once she was doing a free stuff bin at her house party, so I took the cup that had her name on it, and now I use it. The drinking side, tying it back to Halloween, like I said I was going to do, is pumpkin spice wine, Mad Jack.
Pumpkin spice wine. Okay.
Yeah. It is from Man Farms, a local farm out here in the greater Vancouver area. GVRD, regional district, something like that. So locally made wine. If you're watching the YouTube version or listening to the audio version, come to YouTube because the logo is very cute. Mad Jack. Man Farms, I've been there a couple times. Lovely farm, run by locally owned. And it's a pumpkin spice wine. And I'll say this now, not the best wine in the world.
I was going to say, it's awful, isn't it?
But this bottle has been in our apartment for many a years, and I'm like, we have to just sip it slowly. So throughout this episode, I may be drinking and wincing at this Halloween wine, like 'tis the season.
Nice. Well, on that note, I will show off my Halloween themed drink. Of course, this is let me get the flavor right here. Pumpkin cream energy drink. That's right. I'm drinking an energy drink at 10 p.m. What's it to ya? Anyways, you may recall from the episode where I had Josh, High Score Weekly, on. He also has another Instagram account called High Score Bites, where he reviews and rates snacks and snack drink stuff. And he talked about these. This is Alani's recent holiday themed drinks. They have this one and they have Witch's Brew. And I have 1 can of each left. So I'm drinking the pumpkin cream today and saving the Witch's Brew for tomorrow.
Very cool. Oh, it's pretty good. Pumpkin cream?
Yes.
Better than the wine?
Very likely. The big thing that I mentioned to Josh when I spoke to him is I need to have every Alani flavor at least 2 times, but usually 3 times before I render a judgment. Because upon first tasting of both of these holiday flavors, I thought they were awful. And now that I've had more than one, because I did buy a whole case, they've really grown on me. And I quite like them. So call it an acquired taste.
Very cool. Very cool. Before we dive into our games 10 games to get to know us. 10 games to get to know us. Not the 10 games that made you. Maybe, it's very loose, which is like, when I was doing this, I was like, what a great challenge. And I was challenged. But good. I want to quickly touch on, because we haven't done it in months at this point, what we've been playing and what we're looking forward to playing. I could start. I'm working on 1 game right now, 1.5. I'm still working through Pokemon Za. We didn't have a proper chance to really dive deep into what we thought of it. I will reserve my full thoughts. I really want to do like a spoiler cast / proper review for this, because it's a Pokemon game. I love Pokemon. Yeah. I'm sure we'll find that out soon. But I've been enjoying my time so far. It's been really different. A lot of the gripes people say is like no voice acting, the game's graphics look not great. But I don't know, something about the loop. This loop is, I guess when you boil it down, all Pokemon loops is train your Pokemon, fight the gym, train the Pokemon, fight the gym. This one is almost like it literally is like an alternate reality version of a Pokemon game, but it really is. In the daytime, you find Pokemon, catch them, level them up. In the nighttime, you fight trainers, get points, and the gym leaders, like how, I don't know if you know, Jordan, but how this game works is you're trying to get from rank Z to rank A.
Yes.
So you're fighting each rank, and those are kind of your gym leaders. Now, similar loop, flavored differently, alternate reality. I will say that this is really working for me because that time between gyms is, like, between the gym leaders is way shorter. It's like
because there's so many more than a traditional game.
Like every night, I feel like, maybe in a Pokemon game you can do this as well, but every night I feel like I'm going up a rank and then be like, all right, that's a good session. In the middle of that, really, I'm not going to say like the greatest story in the world, but an intriguing story. There's a little bit of like, those spy thrillers, like who can be trusted? What are these people's true motivations? Right? Why are they so nice to you? Right? Like,
which of these NPCs is actually a Drampa?
Yeah,
I get it.
maybe
I get
or
it.
Ditto or yeah, something like that.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. So like there's that is sprinkled throughout, and like the character animations look great. The writing is actually pretty great. And I think like the pacing of this game is just they nailed it. So that's why I'm like looking forward to playing some more. I want to say I'm like halfway through
Okay.
the story, the game. I will at least beat the story before I give my full impressions. But so far things are working. I'm like leveling up at a good pace. I don't feel like any of it is a slog, but I definitely need to put a lot more time into it.
How many hours would you say you are?
Great question. I want to say I'm about 10 to 12 hours in.
Okay.
I know
That's a
my
good amount.
buddy beat it at around 25, 30, but he's also someone that likes to take his time and clear out an area and stuff. So on the long end, but I hear people beating it in like 20 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm about halfway through.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And I was kind of taking my
Right
time.
on.
I'm not rushing through the game.
Well, fair enough. That's exciting to hear. As you know, and we've talked about before, I've never really dabbled in the actual Pokemon games. I've always been in the well, I mean, I would call Arceus and I guess the Legends series, I would call mainline adjacent. So I've always been the adjacent side of things, right? I was big into Pokemon Go, big into trading card game Pocket. Not big, but I play Pokemon Friends every now and then, you know, the weird random kind of side spin-offs, and not even the side spin-offs that are super weird, because I think, you know, there's things like Mystery Dungeon and I don't know, Puzzle
Pokemon
League,
Ranger.
Like,
have you ever played that?
Yeah, like those things are more of the like spin-offs. I guess you could call me more of the mobile Pokemon gamer, but at the same time, I mean, all the games are mobile because Switch and, you know.
It's the way of the future, yeah.
Anyways.
Cool.
That's exciting.
Jordan, what have you been playing?
I apologize. I had my headphones off. I'm guessing you said, "What have you been playing?"
Yes, that was impressive.
Sorry, I was fixing my hair there. I have to admit, I've been playing primarily one game and one game only, and that game is a little game called Hollow Knight Silksong.
Oh,
that's right. I'm still in the thick of it, and I'm pulling up my phone here because I want to see if I can find an image that I believe I took a capture of on my PlayStation, which means I can go into the app and then I can go to captures.
So convenient, this feature.
And I can pull this up. It's actually awesome. And I didn't even know how easy it was. Like, I did not know I could do this until very recently. I'm going to hold this up to the screen. I don't know if you can see what that says.
For audio listeners, Jordan is showing a screenshot. Game completion. Time 73 hours, 23 minutes, and 7 seconds. What?
That's right. Now,
you beat Hollow Knight Silksong.
For those of you that have played Hollow Knight Silksong, you will know, or sorry, not just those who have played. For those that have beaten Hollow Knight Silksong, you will know that you get that screen upon beating Act 2. Technically, there are 3 acts. If you stop at this point, by all means, you may have had a very complete experience because the game is obviously massive, as you can tell by me spending 73 hours to get to this point. But there is, for all intents and purposes, a whole third that I have not yet done. And I fully intend to do, because the way it kind of ends, you know, there's a big boss, you beat it, cool. But it doesn't feel very climactic, if you ask me. And so, knowing already that there's a third act, I can only assume that whatever transpires over the third act is going to bring us to more of a conclusion and a more satisfying end. So I think I had pretty much cleared out as much as I possibly could before finally going to do this final boss that gets you to that end screen. And then lo and behold, like, there's a whole area I hadn't explored. I knew there were 2 bosses that are optional that I hadn't done, but I had got to, so I at least experienced them. One of them I was like, ain't no way I'm ever trying this guy. I have learned that I'm going to have to if I want to beat Act 3. But anyways, point is, I've still got a ways to go. So, of course, I jumped over to Yote when Ghost of Yote came out. We had our episode with High Score Weekly, Josh, who I talked about earlier. And I think I sunk about 15 hours into it, and I really just didn't want to lose that sort of muscle memory of Silksong, especially because Silksong is such a challenging game. So I kind of just said, you know what? I'm going to focus on this and try to get through it. and like not even in a I'm gonna rush through it way, just in a I don't multitask games well. So I do want to
Fair.
go back to Yote, and I fully intend to go back to Yote. If you were to ask me, what am I going to play in November? It's going to be Silksong. I'm hopefully going to finish it, and then I'm hopefully going to go back to Yote. So
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
Oh, a light backlog. We're not going that far back.
Mhm.
You're within the quarter. So
I feel like the concept of backlogs is crazy because, of course, it's impossible to play every game. And, you know, you and I are both in the drop in, drop out Discord and many other Discord communities. And like the clip at which people play these games just boggles my mind because I simply cannot. I just spent 73 hours playing one game. If I had crammed that into a week, I would have had to no life it. Like,
yeah,
the simple fact is 73 hours of gaming does not fit into a single week for me. So
that's why
you know,
there's not 73 hours in the 5 to 9 after your 9 to 5 because that's 4 times 7 and that's 28. So.
Thank you. It's a great way to put it. So it should have taken me approximately 3 weeks, but it's taken me. I guess
sounds about right,
that
right?
long.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
It came out at the beginning of September. Now it's the end.
Yeah,
of
so like 2 months.
2 months. That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
that is fair. Yeah, I'm like the opposite, man. I juggle too many games, never finish any of them. Like, don't ask me about Split Fiction or Clair Obscure. Okay, I'm working on it.
I mean, Split Fiction is one that I was really looking forward to. My wife and I played a few hours, and then we just never went back. And I don't really know why, because we played all of.
Yeah,
It Takes Two. Came before it? It Takes Two. Yeah, we played all of It Takes Two, and that was multiple play sessions, but just never really went back to Split Fiction for some reason. So
yeah, I don't know, something to ponder on, something to reflect on. Well, my November isn't like, well, on the topic of not finishing games. All right, so my November will be Pokemon Za. I'll probably finish it. It probably won't take me a month. I don't think it's one of those games where it's punishingly hard. 3 games I want to get into this November. 2 of them already came out. Have missed. Ball X Pit came out.
Oh yeah.
That is the roguelite ball breaker city builder kind of game. Sounds like my jam. I already have it on the Switch. Just haven't had time to start it yet. Trying to do what you do. Finish a game first before starting another one. The other game I want to play is, let me see if I can pull it up here, because I think this one requires a visual thing. And I'm sure I've talked about this game before, but it is called, drum roll please, My Card is Better Than Your Card. It is a similarly trading card game style roguelite, I think, where you play as these kids on a playground or like school settings and stuff, and you have trading cards, and there's some sort of game where you have to make your card better than the opponent's card. I don't know exactly how it works yet, but as the game goes, you can get new cards, you can put stickers on the cards that modify them, and first of all, the art, very beautiful, very aesthetic, cartoony, comic booky. It's got like a storybook art style to it. And yeah, it's one of those roguelites where it's like you'll eventually find some combo that breaks it. And super family friendly looking. And I'm looking forward to playing this one.
Cool. That looks awesome. Who's it made by, if you have that info handy?
It is made by UTU Studios, published and developed. It's the only game they have out. So
interesting.
Okay. So we'll find out. We are UTU Studios, an indie studio from Finland with the mission to create games that positively impact the players through them in the wider world. Lovely. Love that.
That's awesome.
I will be playing this game. And on the topic of cards, which is not going to be the last time cards come up, this is another game that came across my desk today. It is called My Wife Threw Out My Card Collection, so I bought a dump to find them all.
Okay.
Developed by Dos
That guy just found a YouTube plaque. Did you see that?
No, I barely watched the trailer because I saw the title and I'm like, yep, wish listed.
That's amazing.
Developed by Dos Ivanes, published by Polden Publishing. The story of this game is that your wife threw out all your cards, so you bought the dump and now you're digging to find them. It seems like it's one of those like relaxing cleanup games where you're just digging to find your card collection. And it's like, it's such a simple concept. Like you're cleaning up while looking for things. It's so like, oh yeah, I see the YouTube plaque.
Yeah, there's the YouTube plaque.
It's such a like a like what do you call it? Like those idle games like Cookie Clicker. It seems like eventually you'll be more efficient and all that. But what a funny concept.
It absolutely is. It reminds me of, and I don't even know what the game was called, but there was that digging a hole game earlier in the year.
Yes.
That it was basically the same concept. Like you're digging a hole in your backyard, and you just purchase upgrades, and you get better at digging a hole. Is it literally called dig a hole?
Is it called
a game about digging a hole? That's it. Yeah, that's gotta be it.
Yeah, I think JK Games covered this. Maybe.
Yeah,
I think
a number of people did, and like. Just, similar kind of concept, right? You're digging through trash, get better at digging through trash.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Cool.
I love this genre.
Sent it
Not
to
that
my
I
buddy.
play any of them, but it's cool.
It's like one of those, like Power Wash Simulator, I think is a close one where it's just super simple.
Almost zen, yeah.
Oh my gosh. While we're on this topic of games coming out, of relaxing games coming out, let me see if I can find this. Jordan, can you stall for 2 minutes?
I will stall by apologizing to the audience of viewers because you're going to see me blinking and rubbing my eyes a lot. I was actually at a swimming pool just before this, and normally, like, I open my eyes a lot underwater, and chlorine doesn't bother them super, but like right now, for some reason, my eyes are wigging out. So you might see me tearing up a couple times. Just don't worry about it.
All right.
I'm just adjusting to the bright face cam light I've got as well. So.
According to Simulation Daily, American Truck Simulator is officially going to Canada with a British Columbia DLC announcement.
Woo! Let's cross the border.
So, yeah, American Truck Sim, British Columbia. I'm assuming I've not played this game ever, but I'm assuming it's a game about driving a truck. And they are doing British Columbia. And it looks like they're going through the Rockies, probably going towards you, Jordan. Like
I was gonna say,
Alaska. Yeah,
a lot of that looked like Fernie, like any of these places that are in the Rockies, right?
100%. Yeah, this came across. I don't know if you're familiar with Edison Motors, which is like a local BC company that I think is like doing what Tesla won't do and making an electric semi truck kind of thing. And they're based out of BC. And then they said like, oh my gosh, American Truck Simulator, Mount Robson Park. No, that should be banned for golden years. So very cool. Cool. I recognize that view if you're watching the video version. But very cool. I can't wait.
That is cool.
I don't know if I'll play this, but I'll be like, wow, I was there. I've driven through those Rockies before.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
No. I was going to bring up a tangent, but it doesn't matter.
It's okay. We can always tangent. Anyways, those are the games that I'm looking forward to. I may have accidentally just opened Steam Big Picture mode. So let me exit Steam here.
Let me out.
That was crazy. We're going to move on to the topic of the show. We don't have a transition or anything.
I thought you were going to say tots.
No, we can't.
That's a different show.
We got to make our own thing. Like I said at the top of the show, our topic today is the 10 games to get to know us. 10 games to get to know us more. 10 games that we chose for ourselves that aren't necessarily our favorite games or maybe the best games or the games we played the most, but they definitely are games that we think describe ourselves. And who knows ourselves better than us? Maybe a therapist. So in this episode, Jordan and I have prepared our little, our little visuals. So if you're over on graphics, if you're over on podcasts, come check it out. If you are over on YouTube, you're in the right place because you already watch it. But we will share our photos, and then you can tell us in the comments about what you think of the games we picked, if there are any crossovers, and if we're wrong or right about our own picks. Like I said, this is kind of like a get to know us episode. Haven't done one of these in a while. And I haven't seen Jordan's except for the graphic that I'm kind of keeping off the side here. Jordan hasn't seen mine. So we're going to talk over it and explain why we picked what we picked. Now, one thing we didn't choose is who's going to go first.
You're right. And I was actually, I've got to admit, I'm hoping that you'll go first.
Okay, sure. I will go first.
Perfect.
Drum roll, please. Hold on. I think I actually have a
one episode, 2 drum rolls.
It's crazy. Is it loading? I don't think it's loading. I tried the sound effect thing. It's not loading. All right, we roll with it. My 10 games. Kabam! Does that work?
There it is. Oh, good picture. Good picture.
Thank you. For audio listeners, it is from my wedding photo shoot. And I got my dogs out. I'm on the beach.
Oh, your dogs are out. Check them out.
If you want some free content, head on over to YouTube and give us a thumbs up.
Someone start the wiki feed.
So, this is the best picture I found of myself today. Nice. My 10 games to get to know me. I don't know, Jordan. Why don't you read my 10 games?
Okay, so I'm just gonna start at the top, and why don't I rifle them all? Well, what do you think? Should we go one by one? I'll read it. You talk about it a little bit. Should I read them all and then
go
you
through
can
the
jump
list,
in?
and then we'll start with the one you want to start with.
Okay, so we've got Overwatch in the top left corner. We've got Pokemon Go next to it. We've got Pokemon Card Trading Game Live next to that. Then coming down to the next row, we've got Hearthstone. We've got Consume Me, a recent addition to the list, I do believe. We've got the Jackbox Party Pack. We've got Pokemon Black and White. Now let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so Black and White
are kind of one thing. Yeah.
I get it. And then we've got Peglin, and we've got Marvel Snap, and rounding out the Decahedron, we've got Rock Band 3. Decahedron is a 10-sided shape, right? Am I correct?
The list, I think.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, good point. Rounding out the list, we got Rock Band 3 on Wii.
Jordan, where do you want to start with? Yeah.
I think an easy one for us to start with is Overwatch. I was expecting this. It is the only crossover we have. It's on my list as well.
Cool. Overwatch. Yeah, I want to say it is one of, if not the most played games. It's one of the games I have to pick. Mm-hmm. And I just think it's one of those games that come in a time in your life where you can let something like this overtake your life. And with Overwatch, it was like the era where hero shooters weren't the big thing yet. Or we've had tastes of them in like League of Legends or like hero-based games, League of Legends, Team Fortress, Smite.
PS2, yeah.
Something about Overwatch, maybe it's the presentation and the I want to say like positivity, the optimism of it really resonated with me. Plus, all my friends were into it. The Overwatch League came out, which opened me up to professional sports and getting interested in that way. And then just like having something that was easy to pick up, hard to master. It was the only game I ever tried to do competitive in. Not very good at it. But there's something about the world and the optimism and the themes of it that still resonate to me to this day. And even though I don't play it as much anymore or haven't for a long time, like I still follow all the feeds and try to see what the new thing coming out is. And I love what the team is doing with the game now. And I hope it lasts a long time because I want to play it more if I have time. Like it's comfort food. It's comfort food. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with a lot of what you said. I mean, it's funny diving into the lore of Overwatch, which is like almost an oxymoron, but of course they've built on the lore over many years. However, it did take them many years to build on the lore because for a long time the game was kind of stagnant. But the point is, kind of a big part of the original story of Overwatch is that Overwatch itself is this sort of world protection group, this group of heroes that protects the world, and they kind of fade away into the background. And, you know, the intro video is Winston saying, we need to bring Overwatch back. And it's just this message of, you know, I mean, their tagline was literally, the world needs more heroes.
I was going to say, I'm like, right? Come on, man. Isn't that just a call to be better, to be a good person?
It is. And I mean, you know, that very first cinematic they introduced with Broken Arm Kid and Winston saving the day and everything. I think you were looking away, but I did the pose with the arm, the cast. You know, it really is just such a bright message behind the game, and you really get that in all aspects of it. And like you say, you know, a game that could go on and on forever, and I'm glad to see it's developed into what it has. I'm glad to see that it does still have an audience and an esports scene behind it, even if, you know, it is less so than it once did, with, you know, the Overwatch League proper, you know, V1 kind of thing. And on top of that, I mean, we've talked about it on the show, but like Overwatch is what got me podcasting. It was one of the first things that I felt I know enough about this game, about the lore, about the characters, about how to play it, about getting into the esports scene, because I was just starting to get into it, or I had been into it for maybe a season at the time. It was the first thing that I felt knowledgeable enough to talk on the internet about it, right? And that's what my original podcast was, One Man Watchpoint, right? That eventually led me to Ready Set Pwn with friend of the show, Chris at Light Force. And then, of course, that also introduced me to you, which we then found out we were also both friends through, or we were both fans of Kind of Funny Best Friends, et cetera, et cetera. And that eventually led to this. So for me, this all starts with Overwatch.
100%. That's why it's top left for me.
Yeah.
So you get to know me, like Overwatch. I always say it. Not the best game in the world. I think it is, though.
I mean, contender for sure. If I were to do
best games of your entire life,
I was gonna say I don't think I could ever do a top 100 list. That to me, like that is, it's kind of like the average person trying to comprehend $1 million versus $1 billion. Your brain is not built to compute that large of a gap.
Totally.
I don't know if my brain could compute building a list of 100 games and ranking them.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Overwatch would be in my top 10 personally.
So,
yeah.
One day we will do it.
That's right.
I think
that's
so.
right. Well,
yeah. Where do you want to go next?
Let's hear a little bit about. I mean, I'll pretty much just go one by one here now. Like we may as well go in some order. Let's go for Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go. What a cool concept. A game that exists in real life that you have to physically be somewhere, albeit I almost said scalpers, spoofers. Sure, there's those folks, whatever. But a game that exists where you have to go outside. I feel like this was the game that people think they wanted when you put on the VR goggles and you're walking around. Pokemon Go is that. And I think like a lot of these games, asterisk, I don't play much anymore. But Pokemon Go for a long time, especially during COVID, it got us out. It got us meeting new people in a safe way or whatever.
Socially distanced way. Yeah. And
it was like fun to follow the events and raid together and work together. Like you get those moments where it's like you're working very hard to beat a raid or you're just tapping on your phone, but you plan ahead and you plan for success. You work very hard and you just make it, and then you got to catch it, and some people get the shinies. And then there's like, there's so-and-so a shiny Pikachu over there. Let's walk the extra half a kilometer over there. And while we're over there, we're like, now what's his face is over there. Let's walk over there and get to explore the city. So lots of benefits. I think this one is on my list, and it might come up later as well. But this is one of the rare games that actually helped me with like youth work and working with kids. Okay. For those who don't know, for a long time, I was more or less like what you call a youth worker. I've worked with kids of all ages from 6 to 18. Usually the youth I work with are youth that struggle with social skills or mental health and all that. One constant, other than just video games overall, I know what a Fortnite is, so that made it easy to build a relationship with them. One constant that got us out and about in the community and reinforced that was Pokemon Go. Awesome. You'd walk, play on your phone, you talk in between catching, talk about life and all that. But it really was because of Pokemon Go that got us out the door and away from like their home environment or whatever their safe space to a not safe space to be able to be vulnerable and talk. And Pokemon Go helped with that. It's like when someone takes you on a drive and you're both riding in the car and just have talks about whatever, and it makes it easier because you're driving somewhere. That was kind of what Pokemon Go was in my youth work. So shout out to Pokemon Go.
Nice. That's awesome. It's so funny because like I wouldn't have thought of Pokemon Go. But like everything, like for some reason, I mean, I know why, but it's because mobile gaming. And like I just don't think of mobile gaming when I think someone says to me, "What are your favorite games? What games have you put the most hours into?" I don't think of mobile gaming, but like at this point, I've collected over 7,000 cards in Trading Card Game Pocket. I must have hundreds of hours in Pokemon Go. when I lived in Calgary, before COVID, but then kind of middle of COVID, early COVID, probably, like, you're right. That was one of the few ways that friends could still get together, because it was outside. You could remain distant, but you could still talk to each other. And, just being in the city, there were tons of places to go and meet up and do raids, and they had community days and
Oh yeah.
everything like that. Right. So, a cultural phenom for sure. Like, I literally, at the time that Pokemon Go came out, I was still an Android user for my phone. I'm now an iPhone user, but I was still an Android user. And I did whatever there was a configuration thing you could do that could let you get the game early if you were
Oh
in
yeah.
Canada or Australia, I think.
Yeah, I think you installed it manually or something. I
Yeah.
remember
So
that.
yeah, you had to download it from like some website instead of the App Store and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's the only time I've ever done something like that. But you better
For
believe I
Pokemon.
did it. And I would walk 2 blocks every day at work on my lunch break. I would walk 2 blocks over to the nearest park in the middle of downtown, and I'd spin the stops and beat the raids and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like I don't know, so ahead of the curve, catching all these Pokemon before other people. And yeah, so good times with
Everybody else
Pokemon Go for
caught up.
sure.
Yeah. Love
Yeah.
Pokemon Go. I still check in time to time, but
I do
definitely not as hardcore as before. It's more like, I wonder what's around me.
Yeah.
I got 5 minutes to spare.
Yeah, totally. Agreed.
Mhm.
Well, on the Pokemon note, tell me about Pokemon Trading Card Game Live, not Pocket, Live.
So this is, I feel like they don't market this well enough because, well, one, I'm sure I've talked about it before. I got really into the playing card games this year, and I think I'll be playing for a long time. I think it's got enough of like a community and easy to get into and resources. So I think this will be my main card game for a while. But Trading Card Game Live is 1-to-1 the same as the physical card game that you play at your locals or in person with your friends and family. The thing with Live that nobody talks about is that this is probably the most generous free-to-play game ever.
Oh,
because like the concept's very simple. You don't have to pay for the battle pass. They give you like the meta decks, the decks that win the tournaments and stuff. They give you those for free.
Oh.
And then if you ever want to upgrade them or new cards come out, yeah, you can craft them with the in-game resources. And I think you can buy the resources manually, but within a month or two of just moderate playing, you'll be able to have enough of the gold. Yeah, it's gold to craft any deck you want for like the rest of time, because it is so generous with the resources it gives you. The battle pass, like I said, is free, and it just keeps giving you the resources. If you open a booster pack in the game, you already have the cards. They give you the currency of it. So like, this is the most generous free-to-play game ever, and you can climb the ladder, you can get really good. I know, like, in the end, they want you to actually go to a store to buy the physical product.
Right.
But even if you just play this game standalone, like, you can play this game forever because it keeps up with the live product. Like I said, it gives you all the best decks for free, and you just tweak and add what you want, like, as you go. Nope. I feel like people don't talk about this enough. So I'm here to champion it.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't heard, honestly, I didn't know anyone that played it until you started talking about it. And I think you started talking about it around the time that Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket came out. And you were basically like, it's interesting because it's different, but it's almost like an intro to actual card battling. Obviously, Pocket has, some bended the rules or adjusted the rules to be even a little more simple and straightforward. But yeah, I honestly can't say I knew anyone that had played it before. So
I know. I mean, me neither. I think I always knew it kind of existed, but I didn't know this was the product where it was pretty much all the cards for free in a time where it's so hard to buy Pokemon product. Like you can play the game for free.
Totally.
Like, just playing live. Yeah. And yeah, like Pocket follows its own schedule and own cards and meta. Yeah, Trading Card Game Live is the cards you find in real life in a digital form.
Yeah. Cool. Good stuff. Why don't we keep up? Let's jump ahead a little bit. We'll keep on the same path and get the rest of the Pokemon talk out of the way. Tell me about Pokemon Black and White, and which version did you play, or did you play first?
I played Pokemon Black, so with the white Reshiram guy.
Yeah.
This was the 5th generation of Pokemon. This was the second DS version. Nintendo didn't do this back then, where they released 2 Pokemon games in one generation, but the DS was so successful and it lasted longer than a Game Boy generation that they're like, well, I guess we got to do 2. Pokemon Black and White, it came out in 2012, 2013, and Pokemon was actually in a low in this era, in this like state. They weren't really growing. It's not the juggernaut. It was a juggernaut, but it's not the juggernaut it is now. So they're actually kind of in a low. So they were kind of, I don't want to say desperate, but they were able to try some bigger things. And with this generation, they introduced 150 new Pokemon, 155, like pretty much as as the first generation. And these games didn't have any of the old Pokemon. So it was almost like a soft reset of the Pokemon franchise. And I think for me, and this is the first time like the Pokemon moved constantly in battle. They had triple battles. The game started to go kind of 3D with the way like the cities turned. I think one of the cities is, and I forget it now, Unova City something, but it was New York, and it like turned very cool across the bridge. And I think for this one, I just thought like, wow, this Pokemon thing very fresh. Like I played every Pokemon game leading up to this, and I'm like, this is the freshest Pokemon game, and they haven't done it again since, because they keep bringing back the old stuff. They know nostalgia sells. It was X and Y right after this generation where they're like, what if we put the Gen 1 Pokemon back in? And then obviously that sold very well, so they keep doing it now. But yeah, Black and White 1, I thought was really cool because I liked that they soft reset everything, and it gave that feeling again when you had as a kid, where it was like, oh, what's this guy? What does this guy do? Because every Pokemon was new when it came out. And
very cool.
Yeah. Had a great time. Yeah, I played Black. And they also had like, I think like there was Black City and White Forest or something. So even the overworld map was different between the two versions.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Very cool. Cool. Well, and also on the DS, not the 3DS, correct?
No. Yep, the first generation DS.
Very interesting.
The original.
So far we've got PC/PS4/Xbox One generation. We've got mobile, and then we've got DS. So quite the spread here in generations. Let's stick with kind of the theme of mobile, I guess, and we're going to jump over to Hearthstone.
Ooh, Hearthstone. Another one of those games that came out at a time in my life where what did I do? I played most of this game actually on my old iPhone 6. Ran really well. And I think it was just scratching that card game itch that I always have, that I feel like I just like putting little pictures in front of other little pictures and saying my picture is better. My card is better than your card kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think like for the first couple years of Hearthstone, it just consumed me. And then like, whoa, I did not intentional. It like, yeah, like I was following the meta, I was buying cards, I was playing with friends. I think it also sold this idea like one day you're gonna be able to play in person, but on a digital, like on your iPad versus another person on their iPad. And I thought that was a really cool idea. I don't think that happens anymore. But Hearthstone continues to be like this. Like I still have it installed on my phone. Mostly play the Battlegrounds mode now, which is the auto battler mode, and that's a whole game on its own. I can't believe that is a free game as well. But like I always install on my phone because it's always such a quick, like easy game to play. It's just drag and drop. With Battlegrounds now, you don't need to necessarily know the meta. You just have this idea of how you're supposed to build your team, and you just do it. So it's kind of like Overwatch. It's kind of like comfort food. Like I know how it works, but yeah, it's like the card game in a digital form.
Very nice,
more or less.
Very nice.
Which is ironic because I feel like most card games are digital now.
Yeah,
especially the next one coming up.
How did you know that's where I was going to jump to next? As a segue into the next one I'm going to ask you about, the interesting thing for me with Hearthstone was, well, actually something that I find interesting comparing it to you versus comparing it to me is you don't have much of a tie to Warcraft, do you?
No, I never played World. Well, I mean, I played World of Warcraft, but I never got into it.
Right.
I know my buddy's
And you never
favorite
played
game.
like Warcraft 3 or anything like that, really?
No, don't think so. RTS. I played lots of StarCraft, and I was like, oh, cool, it's in Hearthstone now. Did you know they did a StarCraft set? I completely missed it.
I knew they did one, but I mean, I know that the game is like basically themed off Warcraft characters and everything and lore. So,
yeah.
And that's the interesting thing to me, because I saw the Warcraft theme of it all and thought, I'll give this a try. Didn't click with me. I'm sure I made it through the tutorial. I'm sure I tried a couple battles and was eventually just like, I'm over this. But on the flip side, Marvel Snap comes out, and did I get sucked into that for at least the first, I want to say 3 seasons, maybe 4 seasons. I was playing it daily, and just absolutely loving the battle system, which is, opposite to Trading Card Game Pocket, where, yeah, I battle, yeah, I do competitive, but like I'm in it for collecting. So tell me how you feel about Marvel Snap.
I forget exactly when Marvel Snap came out. All I know is I played this game for 2.5 years straight because it was so good. Shout out to Ben Brode. He made Hearthstone and Marvel Snap. He directed both of them. And yeah, something about Marvel Snap I think works really well as a phone game that you kind of half pay attention to. Lots of depth. The theming, of course, is awesome, like Marvel. And yeah, this was, like you said, a game that I played every day, that I couldn't stop playing. I was playing it on the train. Like if I was in
real.
Yeah, I was playing it like at work. Yeah.
I remember being in meetings and like literally like, I don't need to pay attention to this meeting. Just prop the camera or the phone over next to the camera so that I can kind of reach over and make it look like I'm watching the camera while I'm playing.
Exactly. And it's like just the mechanics of it is like you just drag and drop once and then you just wait. And then there's like a betting, like, oh my gosh, will they, won't they, on the Snap. Like I said, themed with Marvel and the whole Infinity Cube thing and a little bit of poker. And I'm just like, dude, what a crazy combination of things here. I played this game. I bought the Battle Pass for like 2.5 years. Eventually I fell off because the collecting got a little tough, like a little hard. Trying to keep up with all the best cards and collector's tokens and all that, and mobile game stuff. They want you to spend
currency upon currency.
Yeah, they want you to spend money. I think they have booster packs in it now. That's kind of when I fell off.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. But it's a game that I still think of very dearly. Like if it was just a game where I played like where it was the 6 turns and you just drag and drop and fight up the ladder. If it was just that and there were no new cards, I think I would still play this game. I don't know how that would work because new cards also made it kind of fun. I think just the content cycle was a little too fast in the end, even though it got me for 2 years. But yeah. Well, I kind of want to play Marvel Snap now. According to Steam, and I know this is not accurate because like Overwatch I played on Battle.net and stuff. It is the most played game on my Steam library because I think a lot of it was being in those meetings. I'm playing on the computer, drag and drop. Yeah, that doesn't even include phone time. Or like I'm watching a TV show and I'm playing Marvel Snap on my computer. So shout out Marvel Snap. I still think it's a great game. I just think they need to work out the what do you call it, collection thing, card acquisition.
Give them another couple of years and they'll come out with Marvel Snap Classic, and it'll be, just the first 3 seasons worth of decks or something. But
I am interested in like what their next game is because I know like Ben Brode hasn't been working on Marvel Snap for a long time. They're busy cooking up whatever second dinner's second game is. So I wonder if it'll be
and I mean, like, just because you shouted him out, but talk about lightning only strikes once. Nope. In his case, it strikes twice because man, Hearthstone was a phenomenon for a while. And then when Marvel Snap came out, it just exploded. And I think again, because I got into Marvel Snap but didn't get into Hearthstone, I think Hearthstone just Marvel Snap took the Hearthstone formula and just scaled it back enough that someone who is a little more casual than a Hearthstone player could get into. And obviously the IP, does a lot for it as well. But it just made it so simple and easy to understand the tutorial was maybe like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, and it just taught you, hey, here's your energy. I mean, it's been a long time since I played now. Here's like the land cards in the middle. Here's your hand. Here's your energy. Here's your attack.
Areas.
And that's all you got to worry about, right? So I loved Marvel Snap for a long time too. I still have it on my phone, and I go in every now and then I usually get overwhelmed by how many things have a notification for me to collect something, and then I bounce out. But anyways,
fair enough.
It's a good one.
I got 4 more games. I kind of want to rocket through them.
If you don't want to talk about them too in depth, then take us on a ride.
Well, I got 4 more games left. I'll start with Consume Me, which is, like Jordan said, the newest game on here. Just came out a couple weeks ago. It's a game I only played once too, but as I played it, quality over quantity. I could not stop thinking about this game as I played it. I could not stop thinking about this game after it. Part of that is, man, I really want to do a second run, but I don't have time. I was on vacation. So it's a game that really resonates with me, not just because of the story and the art style and the music and the gameplay mechanics, but I think just like as a package, these are all the kind of things I look for in a game. Like I said, heartwarming story, cool art style, interesting game mechanics, humor. I think it's very Scott Pilgrim-y, which I'm not sure if I said before, and I love Scott Pilgrim, so that really
you might have,
works
but
for me.
yeah.
Consume Me, newest game on the list. I think it does also, capture like my journey as somebody who grew up here with Chinese parents, and like they had certain expectations and then kind of pushing back towards those expectations. So I really resonate with Jenny Han's story here.
Cool.
Another one on my list, Jackbox Party Pack. Kind of cheating because there's 11 of them now, 11 plus. But I would say any game in this series is the like I have a lot of friends who aren't gamers, and they're not just like they know about video games. I'm talking about like my old classmates that I studied child and youth care with. Like they are not gamers. They might know what a Pokemon and a Call of Duty is. But Jackbox is a game that they can play because it's essentially a big board game that requires no setup, your phone, and a TV. So shout out to Jackbox. I play it every holiday. I get every new version that comes out, the new one. It's pretty good. I think it's the first one where like 5 out of 5 games are like
okay.
Good. Yeah.
Nice.
Peglin is kind of similar to Marvel Snap. It's a pachinko roguelite, locally made by Red Nexus over in Victoria, BC, I believe.
That doesn't sound similar to Marvel Snap at all. A pachinko roguelite?
No. Let me make my case. It's because it's one of those games where you can set on the side and just like play while doing something else. And I've sunk a lot of hours into Peglin, just going through the dungeons and trying to get to the end. And like there are some games that it's like, oh, this is very satisfying. This one, when you choose your balls correctly and your upgrades and stuff, like there's one that's the what do you call those nesting dolls? Those Russian nesting dolls. Yeah. Yes, those. There's a ball that does that. So you start to fire that off, and you get the mirror buff. So now both pegs on each side are being hit, and it's just so satisfying seeing the entire screen wipe down because you got lucky and you made some smart choices. So Peglin, very, very satisfying.
Nice.
My last one.
I love Peggle, so I'm sure I would love Peglin.
Oh my gosh, you should totally play.
I should try it. Yeah.
I wonder if it's on PlayStation. It's on phone. It's on mobile.
Oh, okay.
So grab it there.
I'll see.
Last one is Rock Band 3, specifically for the Wii. Now, allegedly, did Teenage Samson somehow figure out a way to insert a funny SD card into the Wii and access certain songs on Rock Band 3? We'll never know. But Rock Band 3,
spicy.
Rock Band 3 on the Wii. I think we bought the Rock Band 2 kit, and we still have all the instruments. Yes.
I'm downloading Peglin now.
Peglin on the phone. Rock Band 3, super fun. I think Rock Band in general, this is not just limited to 3. 3 is just the one we spent the most time in. But just having friends over, singing some karaoke, playing the instruments, it's like probably making a lot of noise. Thank goodness we lived in a house and not like an apartment. Making a lot of noise. Just going song after song, learning about new songs, chasing high scores. It was like the ultimate party game for that late 20 like 2010s, early 2010s
Mm-hmm.
generation. And yeah, I'm so sad that it's like not really a thing anymore, because
Mm-hmm.
everybody loves karaoke. Everyone loves doing something, being part of the band that's not singing.
Mm-hmm.
I know like Clone Hero and all that Yarg is still huge online, but yeah, I miss the party part of Rock Band. And I think that kind of gave me my love for music and learning
Mm-hmm.
more about music. Yeah, around the middle school time, which is around when Rock Band came out, like
Mm-hmm.
I joined the band at school and then really got into playing
Oh,
musical instruments. Yeah, I was in band from like grade 6 to 12.
I didn't know that.
Dude, I played the
There's some
trumpet. I was
lore.
not good.
Oh,
And jazz
okay,
band. And like
okay.
through that, I learned more things, but part of that was reinforced
Oh,
by Rock Band and learning about music
cool.
that way. Like
Yeah,
rock music, like not even old songs, but like I learned who the Foo Fighters were, and Alice
yeah.
in Chains, and I don't know, The
Mm-hmm.
Who and all that, Metallica.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like rock and roll kind of stuff. And that was because of Rock
Nice.
Band. Rock Band came out at a time when I was joining band
Oh
in
man.
school, and I'm like, well, like rock band and school band is not necessarily the same thing, but it's music, and it's
Mhm.
it's in that realm. So Rock Band 3, shut up. I also bought
Yeah.
tickets to Foo Fighters next year. I'm excited.
Oh, cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome. No, it's funny. I mean, like once you started talking, when you started listing the bands there, like I got chills because Rock Band. I think Rock Band and Guitar Hero, obviously.
Yeah.
Although I've always been a Rock Bander, not a Guitar Hero, but these games like brought a generation of music to kids that probably otherwise wouldn't have, vibed with that music or wouldn't know it, or maybe would have just simply thought, that's my parents' music, that kind of thing, right? For me, a lot of the music in Guitar Hero and Rock Band, I knew because of my parents, my dad. But like for me, Rock Band 1 and 2 were the big ones. And like I remember playing Rock Band 1 over at, shout out to Demir, me
Shout out to Demir.
and two of my closest friends at the time over at Demir's house. He was the kid that had, every video game.
Nice.
Him and his brother were a couple of years apart, but they both had the best gaming PCs around. So they had every game, they had every console, and they had the consoles in this tiny room where you were maybe 2 meters from the TV screen. And we somehow set up all the rock band instruments in that tiny room, closed the door, and we must have been 16 and sweaty and
Yeah,
smelly as all hell.
Oh boy,
And
it's a hot room.
we would rock out in that room, and I was the singer, and I would belt it, and then I would leave the house, and the next day at school, Demir would be like, "Yeah, my parents were wondering what that cat screeching was all day long," and I was like, "Yeah, that was my singing." So, what instrument was your instrument of choice?
I played it all, but
Okay.
yeah, guitar.
Good.
Guitar.
Good.
I think I was the best at drummer. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, drumming. I think like I had a friend who got into drumming because of drumming in Rock Band.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say guitar is the best one, and then drums, and then I could sing. I could get the score at least.
Fair enough.
Just match the tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know. I prided myself on how I could sing on hard and still do well for most songs, but that didn't mean I was a good singer. That just meant I could match the pitch, right? It doesn't mean I wasn't screeching, but
yeah, but it made you feel good.
Exactly.
Well, those are my 10 games. Jordan, thank you for walking with me through a little bit of my lore. This was kind of tough. The number 10 spot was kind of tough, but I had to give it to Consume Me because I'm like, recency bias, I know. There are a couple check boxes there that kind of pushed me towards it. That's why.
Yeah.
Well,
fair enough.
Well, let's move on to Jordan's list.
Well, and I mean, I gotta ask, like,
oh yeah.
Obviously, you can cut this out of the show if you want. Do we want to do my list right now? Because I'm looking at the time, and I wasn't sure if we'd be able to fill an hour with one of our lists, but I mean, we did. So it's up to you. Do we want to do a part 2? Or I can go into this. It's up to you, but I can talk.
You know what? In honor of making sure you have the right amount of time and we don't feel rushed, why don't we save your list for next
Okay.
week.
Okay.
And we'll just fill up the hour. Because, yeah, you're right. I'm like, oh, man, do we have enough to fill the hour? Turns out we do.
And honestly, like, I'm glad because I'll give you a bit of an intro to my list, but we won't go into
a tease.
A tease, yes, a little taste for next week. I approach my list very much, like you say, in a way where it's kind of like, these aren't necessarily my all-time favorite games. Yeah, a couple of them are. Obviously, we talked about Overwatch. Obviously, if you've watched the show, you know a few of my favorite games over time and from my childhood and things like that. But I really approach this list trying to pick games that all mean something to me or have some touchstone in my life. Now, the very first one we're going to start with is kind of a goof, but it says something about the time and place in my life where I was playing it. So I'm excited to get into it, and I'm glad to hear how you approached yours as well.
Okay.
Because it sounds like we both kind of went that way where it's like, these aren't necessarily just my all-time favorite games. This is not my top 10 list of top 10 games of all time, right? In fact, I would argue, looking at my list, well, there's a few of them that would make a top 10 list, but definitely there's some that would not make any top 10 lists. That's for sure.
Like in terms of like critique.
Exactly.
Okay. Interesting.
And there's, some of my games are looked back on fondly, and some of them not so much. And some of them have had better iterations nowadays, and some of them might be the best there ever was in that series, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm glad that we were able to give you the time to dive into yours, and I'm glad we got some new Samson lore. That's what I was looking forward to. So,
nice. Yeah, everyone's just so full of lore. I can't wait to see some of new Jordan lore. And if you want to be part of history as Jordan goes through his milestones in life, touchstones in life, I think that's a cool way of going at it.
Yeah.
Make sure you stay subscribed to Grow Up Level Up here on YouTube and or podcasts wherever you are listening. Make sure to drop a like and a comment what you thought of my list, and maybe if you want, tell us your 10 games that we want to know you by. 10 games. Okay, this is like really hard to say. 10 games to get to know you.
Yeah. You know what? I'll throw one out there. If you leave a comment either on the YouTube video, Spotify, or there's a third place, right?
To leave a comment,
or drop it in our Discord. We will read it out on next week's episode.
That is sick.
And if there's 100, the whole episode will be dedicated to reading them out.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And I will be pushed back to the episode after that. But
we're gonna push it all the way to next week.
Exactly.
We'll try to get it done. But thank you so much for joining for this episode of Grow Up Level Up Sunset Selects, where this is part 1 of Games to Know Samson by. Next week we will do part 2 of Jordan's Games to Know Jordan by. My name is Samson, aka Samson XP on the interwebs. Drop us a follow on at Grow Up Level Up on other socials as well. Jordan, if people want to find you and maybe guess what your top 10 games are, where can people find you?
People can find me all over the internet at Sir Dr. JM. That's at Sir Dr. JM, especially over on Steam and PlayStation Network. Of course, it's not called the PlayStation Network anymore, but I still call it that, because when it first came out, it was called the PSN. No, it's just called your PlayStation Online or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm sure it's not called PSN. I'm sure they got rid of that branding at some point.
Okay. Fair. Find Sir Dr. JM on everywhere that you can find Sir Dr. JM.
That's right.
Including PlayStation. Well, that concludes our episode this week. Make sure you stay subscribed for next week. We will post on a Friday. Happy Halloween. Stay safe. It's going to be torrential pouring here in Vancouver. Hopefully not in Edmonton. Yeah, it's like 70 millimeters of rain or something wild.
Wow. No.
Jordan, what are your wise words to close out the episode?
My wise words this week. I said them once, I'll say them again. Heroes never die.